Josef Newgarden since Toronto, man, this guy has really come into his own. He is just driving flawlessly.
I never thought I was going to get hired by the captain.
Oh, under, that's a slick move right there. Nice.
Let's drive. Let's scan the vehicle.
Green. I love driving IndyCar.
Mid-Ohio it's one of the best tracks that we go to in North America. You know, with IndyCar racing, you think about Mid-Ohio as a classic, traditional, all-American IndyCar racetrack. Mid-Ohio is kind of just in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, and you know, cornfields, you got a lot of farming around the area, and there's not a lot going on where that racetrack's at, and it kind of comes alive. You know, you think about that place and there's not much going on most of the time, but on an IndyCar race weekend, it really starts to breathe air and starts to really look like it's alive. I was all about learning about race cars, understanding what made them work and what made them faster. And the more that I got into go-karting as a young kid, the more I fell in love with that. The more I realized this was the number one thing that I wanted to do in the world. And if I could somehow make that happen, I'd want to do it.
Josef Newgarden, Indy Lights Series champion.
Being within the sport, I think trying to grow and develop as an individual, that's been the key for me, is trying to get better every year.
Josef Newgarden is an IndyCar race winner at Barber Motorsports Park.
Josef Newgarden, the newcomer to the Penske team.
I still feel like they would never hire me. I never thought there was going to be a moment where I was going to get hired by the captain.
First win in Penske colors for Josef Newgarden. Josef Newgarden has won again on the streets of Toronto.
The development process of having an opportunity to be in the sport and then grow and develop over 4 or 5 years' time and showing growth, I think that's ultimately what helped me get hired at Team Penske.
Basically, it's easy 3 stops. Like a 2-stop strategy is pretty far outside the window. Like we'd have to have a lot of caution in order for a 2-stopper.
Brian Campy is my race engineer. He's pretty much attached to my hip. When you think about a race car driver, you have a person that's next to you that's you're like conjoined twins, if you will.
Today is all about pace. I think the preferred tire is going to be the red tire, but obviously things can change. It's a new tire.
There's not really much that we can do to try and limit ourselves getting caught out by the yellow.
No, not really, other than just paying attention to how many cars have pitted, right? Like if we're sitting out there and 12 cars have pitted and we're still within a running hard window.
With Brian comes a relationship and a connection that has to be very strong. You have to be thinking the same things at certain times.
I mean, the other thing we got to think about too is that we can't have a 20th place finish. Like if we have to give up a win to guarantee a 5th. The other thing is
our podium.
Right, because we're racing the 3, the 9, the 1. We're not racing if the 7 or the 5 or one of those guys pits early. We're not, in the grand scheme of things, we're not racing those guys.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Now, he's coming off of a fresh win out of Toronto.
That's right, yeah.
2 wins this year.
2 wins, yeah.
Now, do you know who won this race last year?
I do. I know what car he was in as well.
I'm just checking, because Christina would like to be handing that trophy to you up on the podium at the end.
Is she handing the trophy?
If you can get there.
It's a little more motivation, Okay, I like it.
One of the great things that we get to do during a race weekend is generally get to meet with our partners at the track. When you have a primary partner that's at the track, that has a large contingent from their group out, it's always fun getting to see them before the race, on race day, getting to talk with them. I know if I was going to a racetrack and I was going to watch the car that I was rooting for, the car that had my name on it, I would want to have some questions.
Does anyone have any questions that I can help answer? Or?
How did you get started then?
How'd I get started? I played baseball, basketball. I was like your normal suburban kid growing up, my dad wanted me to be a center fielder for the New York Yankees. That was like his dream for me. Finally, when I was 13, I convinced my dad to try go-karting, and we had to drive all the way to Indianapolis. That was the closest, it was the closest area to Nashville, actually, to find a competitive go-kart track. And it was my #1 love. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to play basketball or baseball anymore. I just wanted to race cars. Somehow, some way, it all worked out. Best place to pass, 2 or turn 4 are gonna be your hot spots. You think about the wings of the car. There's big wings where we pull them back just a little bit. And as you pull them back, you start to lose grip on the race car. It doesn't suck to the ground as much, but it goes faster in a straight line. It's 90 laps. We know we're probably gonna have to do 3 stops. 2 stops is gonna be very hard to do.
You get to answer those questions. You get to see everyone, up close, shake their hand and say hello and tell them that, hey, we're gonna have a good day.
Our goal at Team Penske is to get one of the cars in victory lane. Obviously, it would be nice to get the #2 car with all you guys in PPG in victory lane. That would be the best. Today could be a good day. That's my goal, and I hope that we can achieve the full thing today. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
The summer stretch of IndyCar continues in America's heartland. Today, the Verizon IndyCar Series returns to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the 33rd time. Well, the top 4 are separated by 23 points in the championship. Much on the line today. Penske is on the front row. Josef Newgarden is going to start second, and Will Power won his 3rd pole here, 5th of the season.
Taco.
Go. Prepare.
Let's go. Hey, you came to hang out with Dad today. That's cool.
One guy that does the ruling style is Conor McGregor.
Yeah?
The style when he does it,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Dude, he does a lot of cool stuff.
But yeah, because he's all about positioning and...
But what's cool is he does that monkey training. You know, that he goes to move like a monkey.
He does move like a monkey.
It's so cool.
Drivers, start your engines!
Check there. Make sure you got everything where you want it for the start.
As they look for the green flag, they will not see any green on the hill here at the keyhole. That's because it is completely occupied with people in seats on blankets and ready to watch. Starting to accelerate is Will Power. We're about to see the green flag in Mid-Ohio.
Green, 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 green.
Ready to go, round 13, just 5 to go in the championship, and it's green from Mid-Ohio. Power gets the early jump. Newgarden looking to the outside. He may challenge him going into turn number 4. Newgarden in the blue car.
On race day, it was very clear what we had to do, and it was passing Will.
Josef Newgarden is going to sling that car to the outside. Power's not going to give him a lot of room to the outside of the racetrack, and when Power jumps on that push to pass, he's able to defend and hold off Josef Newgarden.
During that opening stint, I felt like we had such a strong car. We were quicker than Will. I felt very good about where we were at that I just wanted to get by him. I felt like if I could get by Will, we could probably run away with the race.
2.6 now. 2.6 is the gap. He's making a bit better mileage.
For us, running a 3-stop strategy, it makes it very limited on how you're going to pass this one guy. You're either going to pass him on track, which is difficult to do at Mid-Ohio, or you're going to pass him in the pits in some sort of sequence.
F is 1.7, 1.7.
So Toronto worked out well.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I always get nervous on street circuits, but I feel like I've had more success on street circuits this year than any year I've ever run.
We've been good. We've been good at the street courses here for a long time. You got like Will and got those guys to lean on.
If we have a weekend like Toronto where we run the race, immediately after we win that race, I'm already thinking about the next one. It's like, okay, job done for this weekend. Let's go home. Let's already talk about the next event. And then as you get to that specific weekend that comes up, like a Mid-Ohio, you start really digging into the details of what we're gonna do, how we're gonna attack it.
Is this the car we're gonna run from Mid-Ohio?
Yep, that's it right there. Yeah, PPG, Mid-Ohio, Fitzgerald at Pocono, and then back to PPG for St. Louis.
This has been a lucky car for everybody, I feel like.
Dude, I think
especially Simon.
The blue scheme over the past 3 years have won so many races. We won with Juan at Pocono. I think that kind of kicked it off, and then Simon won so many races with it last year and the year before. It's been really, really good.
You can't bypass experience. We have to go through race weekends together, learn about things in conjunction together, go through experiences together, and when you do that, the better you're going to become.
What's cool about Mid-Ohio is it's like so different Toronto. And, you know, you have all the campers, like so many people are camping there.
Well, we're bringing the whole family camping.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, driving up Wednesday, gonna camp the whole week. Shannon and I's anniversary.
You got the boys coming too?
Boys are coming, our anniversary's Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they pick one race a year and they pick to go to Mid-Ohio.
This is always good luck when you bring families.
I know, every time.
The modern day racing driver has to be so much more than a talented, fast hands racing driver. On top of that, in order to make it in today's sport, you have to have so many other ingredients. It's about the brand, it's about marketing. Racing is a business, and you have to understand that side of it.
No, food brands, hotels, you know, just anything like that.
What if he says I love Lay's potato chips? No, can't use it. I just actually trimmed this yesterday because it started getting bushy again. My hair gets, like, it's bad. I brought a Team Penske shirt and I have a Team Penske polo. Those are really the only options that I had.
It's okay. I think that's fine. That's why we can do one shirtless. So.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's an option.
Let's do Brian and me shirt.
Yeah.
My biggest challenge now being involved in racing is, you know, being a personality in the sport. It's changed over the last 10 years, you know, with social media and the way people absorb things. You have to do it in a genuine way.
Hi, I'm Josef Newgarden, and this is Hum Ride Along. Today I'm taking Brian Campy for a ride. Let's drive.
With Team Penske, it's very much about the brand and representation. So an opportunity like the one with Hum and Verizon, where we got to, you know, shoot videos that to me are very personal. It's, you know, it's what I would be doing every day. I come into the shop at Team Penske, I work out, I get to see the employees, I get to see the mechanics that I work with on race weekends. We go to lunch, and that's essentially what the video is. So, you know, creating a genuine marketing approach and, you know, helping push a brand forward with that. It's just one of the opportunities that you get to have, and you have to take advantage of when you're a driver.
Thank you for going to lunch with me, man. You have no idea. It's a blast. No one ever wants to go to lunch with me. I don't know what it is. It's really difficult finding people to eat food with.
We just got done with our ride. Let's scan the vehicle and see how our car is doing.
My car's looking healthy.
My car is looking healthy.
Josef Newgarden looked to the outside. Will Power went up to block.
Under. That's a slick move right there. Nice. Wow.
And Newgarden takes the lead. Back down the hill. Power close to within a car length. But what a fantastic pass. As we've got a new leader. Mark Jay's 13 laps in is the winner in Toronto, Josef Newgarden.
Clear, nice job.
You normally have to be very fluid on the way you pass people, the way you try and get by. And with Will, it was just, you know, it was a couple laps of studying what he was doing, where he was strong, you know, how I could get by, and, you know, I felt like an over-under move or a fake-out move would work really well on him in turn 4.
Well, he faked it high, showed high. Power was just into the brake zone and thought Newgarden would stay there at the last second. He absolutely snaked him up the inside, and now he's gone.
Taken off. He just totally baked him.
No pressure from behind.
As soon as I got by him, he struggled to get his tires working well again, and that allowed us to open up a big gap. And as soon as we had that big gap, it was just about slowly opening the gap further after that.
In a half a lap, he is just taken off from Power. Look at that gap. That's like a 3-second gap already, Tower.
Well, we'll have to see what kind of lap time he does, but we've seen Will Power struggle a bit this weekend in practice on older tires, and perhaps Newgarden's just been quietly waiting for the moment, and he had it there and pounced on the opportunity.
Josef Newgarden since Toronto, man. This guy has really come into his own. He's flying today.
Pit this lap here, pit this lap. 3, 2, 1. Set your fuel, reset your fuel, keep the revs up. I hear bands, watch the 9 car, go, go, go.
And the leader, Josef Newgarden, taking the fight to his more experienced teammates right now.
He's racing Will Power. Look at that angle. Will Power's angle is not good, but he swings it out. Thankfully, no cars ahead.
I felt like, you know, every pit stop we had, we were getting a little bit stronger. I felt a little more confident that, look, it was going to be hard for for someone to beat us on that day. If we were going to lose the race, it was going to be down, to me messing up or us not getting it right and on the pit stops.
Go back to wheel 5. Keep pushing. Everybody else is pitted. That matters. After 4.2 wheel.
Right now, Josef Newgarden is the championship points leader.
During a race weekend, there's always a lot of things going on. You're trying to pack the schedule with the racing activities that you have to do, and then you think about everything else around that. You've got autograph sessions. You've got to take care of the fans.
Simon, I'll meet you over there. See you in a minute, buddy. See you in a minute. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm here.
All right, welcome everybody out to their Tailgate 200. Welcome our drivers. We'll introduce you to them in a second. We are going to play cornhole.
Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you being here.
I like to think I'm good at cornhole. I feel like I'm not bad at it. If I play, I can get into a rhythm.
Josef Newgarden, where is he?
Hello, right here.
They call him in the circuit Mr. Excitement, as you can see. And his teammate is Hannah. Hannah's also from the...
All right, Hannah.
I got teamed up with an awesome young girl who was a big fan, and she was really good at the game.
I'm gonna smoke him in the face with a beanbag.
That doesn't count.
Oh, what? We don't count that?
Count. I forgot to mention bounces don't count.
That's baloney. Yes!
We just got beat by a little bit. We had to challenge Hinchcliffe and his partner, and we just lost out on a tiebreaker. We get to take 20-30 minutes away from the racing activity and try and spend some of that with the fans. At the end of the day, I'd rather win the race than win the cornhole game.
Josef Newgarden has controlled this race. Can he take it to victory lane for the second race in a row and take over the points lead for the first time in his career?
Oh, the young man from Tennessee almost threw it off into the weeds there, exiting turn 9. It doesn't get any closer than that.
Talk about used reds versus blacks. 10-4, just not sure about the used ones, the old ones.
We were very clear on what we were going to do on the last stop, and you start making that decision through the race. You start understanding how each tire compound works, what you think is going to be good for the end of the race, and us choosing to go on black tires was really a decision on the gap that we had. We had a 10-second plus gap, and I think if we were going to continue to maintain that lead, black tires were an easy call.
This lap, Joseph, hit this lap.
This has to be a flawless stop for the two team as you see them go with the sticker blacks and a little bit of a front wing adjustment.
Uh-oh, and a caution.
Ed Jones. That's Ed Jones, the rookie off it, but everybody had gotten in among the contenders.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
The only situation where the black tire would probably not be so good is if you had a restart, or if a yellow did come out.
That's terrible news for Josef Newgarden, who had an absolute cruise going at Mid-Ohio today, and now it's going to get dicey.
Under yellow, our first of the day.
You never know what can happen on a restart. You can't always control the way a restart happens. Even when you're the leader and you're controlling the pace, you're kind of setting the tone, if you will. You're gonna decide what happens.
What does Will Power have for his teammate? But he's got a lapped car of Esteban Gutierrez right in front of him. And this is not to the point of the race where they move lap traffic out of the way.
For that situation, we had a lap car behind us, and he had red tires on, we had black tires on, so theoretically he should be quicker on the restart.
Be smart with this 18, he might think he's King Kong trying to get his lap back. We don't want to cause a problem, but if you stand a shot of passing Newgarden and getting on the lead lap, that would be a really good thing. Do what you can to keep your tires warm. That's more important than fuel right now.
So I was a little bit concerned within that moment. Lap cars can always play a factor in a race, whether they're trying to get back around you or you're getting held up trying to get around lap traffic.
This race went from mildly predictable to rub your hands together, it's going to get wild.
Here we go, boys.
Green, 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 green.
Restarting in Mid-Ohio. Power trying to dispatch of the lap car. He'll go to the inside, but has to bounce back to the outside. Gutierrez locks him up. Power cannot gain the track position.
Gutierrez still in the mix, has not moved out of the way a lap down. It's your obligation once you get lapped to get out of the way of the leaders.
Josef Newgarden is loving this. He's the fastest guy on track and nothing but clear track in front of him.
Point if Gutierrez will help us out. I know it's frustrating, but just try and save your tires.
1.3 with Gutierrez between you. We should be able to go hard to the end.
Once we got away on the restart and we got clear into turn 4, that was really all we needed to do. Once we cleared that gap through turn 4, it was just about maintaining that and trying to run away with the race.
Gutierrez is gone now, but it's left a big gap.
The problem, though, is they burned up tires and pushed to pass just dealing with Gutierrez there, and now Newgarden hasn't burned a second of push to pass. He has 91 seconds left, power 70.
There is always a higher level of satisfaction when you do something that was dominant in the race.
Josef Newgarden absolutely schooled the field, just untouchable.
5.6 coming to the checker.
Josef Newgarden will go back-to-back in IndyCar. He will take the championship lead for the first time. Josef Newgarden dominates at Mid-Ohio.
Man, I love driving IndyCar. Awesome, man. Awesome drive. It's all you today. Great stuff, fellas.
Great job, boys. You're awesome. Great car.
Whenever you win a race, you don't know how you're going to react. You don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what you should say. But I think at Mid-Ohio, for me, it just really hit home that's my favorite part about my job is getting to drive on race day.
Too quick. We're ready for you.
Getting out right now.
There's a lot of ingredients. It's not just the driver, but it's everything else around it. And you think about it more as a global standpoint, it's not just the 2-car, it's all the other cars. We work as a team and a unit.
Take it to victory lane.
Good job, drivers. Good job, Harry American Williams.
Cromer.
Good job, buddy.
It's all water. It's all
on my
water.
13th anniversary, by the way.
Brian needs to keep bringing the family. We have mom and dad.
Anniversary.
We had the wife. Now we have the boys.
We heard you on the...
You need to come to all the races, okay? Because we seem to keep winning when everyone's on. So
do what we can, man.
Being a championship contender, feeling like you have the opportunity to win a championship in your first year, I think that's one of the best things you could ask for as a driver coming into a new group. And I love being able to do that job and do it well. And whenever we have a successful day as a group, like at Mid-Ohio, it makes me so happy and makes me enjoy my job more than anything else.